My cell phone.
No.
Oh well. We're live from the Holiday Inn in Boxborough. We're going to do the CubeSat acceptance checklist run on RadFxSat. We have to verify that it fits in the envelope before we do our environmental testing.
This is post shock and pre-vibe.
Post shock, pre-vibe. This is Bob Davis, Chief Engineer.
Hello.
And then I will go ahead. Log. Oh. You see, because you're going to remove it, the little pre-flat hanging off there.
Yeah.
It wasn't there when they gave it to us. So you know.
And we're gonna cut it off because we're done with it, or what are we? Or how's it?
I just looped it and did a loop.
Okay, cool.
So it is pre-flighted. I just wanted to put down there so I remember.
Yep. Fair enough. I'm ready when you are, which means I need you to write things in the procedure.
Okay.
Actually, I shouldn't say that the CubeSat's not outside of the
That's fine. It's not quite go through your strap.
Yes, thank you.
About 40 seconds behind you. Pretty good amount of interest. There were like 630 views of the little RadFxSat description. Do we need to call Burns to see if he can pick something up that would be at a hardware store? Or Burns or Eric or both?
Believe it or not, I'm thinking about that.
That's okay. I was going to text them and say, just in case they decided to come early,
Was he in fact Did he mention that he might be coming early? I'm not sure if Eric was going to come early. It didn't sound like he was going to come early. He was going to come, what, 8:30ish or something?
They said what time, and I said we would hopefully be ready about 8:30. But Burns had said that he was interested maybe in coming early.
Yeah.
And Eric as well, I think.
Before we give up on that, I'll have you confirm okay. Now that I think about it,
Burns says okay.
I don't need the adapter.
Confirm that, and then
Yeah.
just gonna move that so it doesn't fall.
Okay, so for these screws, I have the 1/8 inch and the 1/4 inch driver. For these screws, I have the 1/4 inch driver. For these nuts, I have the nut driver.
What are the nuts? Oh, that's for the plate.
No, they go on this. Basically, prevent this from backing out during
Oh,
flight.
okay.
Because they're actually not tight. They're just depressing the button, pushing the pusher plate.
Kind of like the way I type it.
Yeah.
A little bit just snug. Right?
Yeah, enough that you bottom out the springs.
Yeah. Okay.
So in fact, I think maybe I don't need an adapter.
Okay, so let's make it. I know I don't need an adapter. These screws are the same as the ones we're in, right? Just took them out.
Correct.
So those are the ones. That use
These are the door screws. Yeah.
The 1/4 inch or whatever.
Those things.
They use the smaller, but still hex. So you got both of them.
Well, this one here, we don't torque, so I don't have to use that. But I do have two different.
You got the wrench.
I have the wrench and the driver.
And the wrench. For this one,
This what?
you have to torque these,
I do.
and then
But I can use
the
that
driver's
bit.
in there,
Yes.
and it'll fit right into the
Yep.
torque.
Yep.
And then the nuts, you use the nut driver, and it fits in the torque wrench as well.
Yes.
And that is all that we have to torque. 3 things.
Yes.
2 things.
3 things. Actually, I can't remember if the procedure says to torque the nuts.
You
probably
torque the door, and you maybe torque the nuts, but you don't torque the posts. Or
I torque the door.
Uh-huh.
I'm pretty sure I torque the set screws that hold these in place, and then
Oh, I didn't see those. Okay.
then the exposed threads of this get those nuts, and I'm pretty sure I torque the nuts.
Okay. So you do have a wrench for those things that hold that in place.
Yes,
So we have all 3.
yeah.
All
So
right.
it appears I'm good.
Then I will let them know, and if it turns bad, we'll
Yep.
intercept if we can. Well, we want to talk to MTS to let them know when we're going to be there. It's almost 7, so we can call.
Let's see. Do you see a roll of masking tape over there? Oh, it's probably in the top drawer. If you don't see it, probably in there.
You want?
And that's because the bits fall right out.
Oh, okay. I have blue paper tape. If you want
Oh,
a
this
little
is
less
the thing.
sticky.
I'd rather not touch the tape.
Sure. I understand. People tell me that all the time. Just enough.
Yeah, I do a loop. Yeah, a wrap around.
Tell
Yeah.
you what, I'll start it. What am I taking?
Oh.
The little bit, the whole thing.
The bit just falls right out. Yeah.
Okay, hold it steady. Oops, it's a little high.
This just helps me from having to pick it up off the floor with my gloves.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Alrighty.
And in the manila envelope, one of the many documents should be a test pod, because I only took out the CubeSat acceptance, the cap, but somewhere in here there is probably like a 5 or 7 page test pod user's guide.
Ah, okay, so that was number 2 on the list. I bet you it's number 2 in the file. Here's the CAC. CAC user's guide. That's fine. CAC user's guide. Red 5. By good old Alicia. And, I'm seeing 15 pages, so there's basically 7 double-sided. Is that what you're thinking?
That sounds about right.
The CAC user's guide, as it actually says?
Oh, no. I want the test pod user's guide.
Ah, okay, there it is. They all look alike.
Yeah.
The testified user guide is currently about 15 as well. Oh, it's waiting. Testified user's guide is 23. Do you want the clip on it in a corner, or do you want them all loose?
I would like to use paper clips, and actually I have not cleaned. No, I really haven't cleaned it. I just didn't want to touch a piece of it or the tape.
You would have to check this.
I have somewhere very easy to get to.
You're touching.
Okay. Actually, need my gloves. Touching things. This clearly worries you more than me.
Mr.
I'm
President.
still dealing with the outside of the test.
Mr. President, you'll see the big bowl.
What if we do?
We had at our headquarters, BNSF in Fort Worth, 7 30-foot tall screens. Maybe make that 15. Anyway, all the way around. I mean, the thing's the size of a football field, right? With hundreds of dispatchers in there and everybody. And so we used to joke about that because sometimes there would be people from other countries that would come to tour, and they'd be standing outside looking through the windows, and then I'd walk by and see them go, Mr. President, let's see the big board. That movie was
Okay. So, like I said, I'm not yet.
okay.
2.2.
Did you get an alcohol dispenser?
I did. I have not in what I had originally intended, but it works just as well. I just have a syringe that I dip in the bottle.
Ah. Okay, bottle's here. This is the 99%. Not less than. Now I'm going to want some of that. See, I only got 91.
Well, you can't fly with it.
Yes, you can.
Huh?
Have a lift.
That was not the proper way to interpret that.
What I meant for home, maybe next time I have to reach there. Because you know what? You see this and other markings similar.
Yeah.
With all the cats, having the 91 is handy because you get scratched. Just pour some line. Do that.
Well, then in that case, what's the difference between that and any percent instead of a 99? I mean, why not use the 91? The rest is just water.
It kills more germs.
It's 99. It's not 99% germs. It's just.
It's 8% psychologically better than a 91.
In my laptop bag, in the outer zip pocket,
Where you were just a moment ago?
yes, where I was a moment ago,
Is.
In the outer,
Outer.
yeah, that one. I think in the little grab pocket that's open right there, you'll see little tiny bags, like what I use for hardware.
How do you need it?
Oh, let's take two. Yeah, that works. I do want to sort of keep separate the used versus virgin screws.
I'm going to eat one of your Nature Valley and I'll give you one of mine back.
Sure, go for it.
See, I told you all this. I don't know that up at 3-6 a.m.
I'm impressed. I actually started. I don't know what time is it now. You said.
7:08.
You know, I started this. Yeah, at least preparing to do all of this. A few minutes before smoke. 20 minutes before 6. And we're still not doing the cat.
Yeah. Actually, then the reason I got up 20 minutes before 6 was I happened to wake up, but I also thought I had the alarm set for 6. So I tried to call you to see if you were started. And you didn't answer. Well, what the hell?
Yeah,
Go over
and
there
I woke up at
right
5.
after 6, and I'll only miss the first 10 minutes of the cat. Right?
Right.
Should we call UTS? We're not going to get there before 9, right?
Oh yeah, don't worry about it because I told.
They're already good with that?
Yeah. In fact, they were. I was expecting that you would not want to rush this morning, or we'd have leftover work. So I told them that we'll try as early as we can to be opening at 7:30, but 9 o'clock might be more reasonable.
Hello? Oh, I see what. I mean, there we go. I think I did catch everybody on the card. Usually somebody sees the tweet. Oh. You need one. Well, Tyvek actually published in their newsletter the RadFxSat passes the shock test. Did they tell you about that?
No.
I wrote a post on the AMSAT webpage.
I saw the title. I didn't even read that because I knew it passed. I just noted that it was released.
And it referenced being on video as we took it out of the test monitor. But Tyvek lifted that in its entirety and published it in the newsletter.
Cool.
Yeah, including the video link. So all of a sudden there was a little more light from outside, kind of give you a fuller light. Does that help at all?
No, but it's pleasant nonetheless. I do, and it looks like I share it with a neighbor, but not you.
Yeah, not me.
Per my request, apparently.
Well, I got stuck in a cheap room because I wanted to be next to you. Keep walking past the door though.
Oh, God dang it.
Oh, you dropped something.
More than something.
Remember the Warner Brothers cartoons where they had the automated house and you drop something so.
Oh, the robots would come out?
Yeah. Anyway, so
Yeah, let's go ahead and just put them all in the bag because we're done with them for hours. Hours. So they might as well go in a bag so they don't fall on the floor.
put a little alcohol in it to clean them off while they're sitting in the bag.
Okay.
Apparently Eric is not awake, or at least not checking his text. Knowledge they don't need. I should do some stills too.
Yeah, I mean, do you want any photos of it just coming out? Or do I just pull it out? I say we dispense with the...
Let me get the camera fired up real fast, and then I will just take pictures.
We do need an X-Acto. The cap on tape should not be overlapping this joint.
Would you, you need mine then, are you saying? Or?
No, in one of these two containers, there should be an X-Acto knife.
Let's see.
I couldn't tell you which one offhand.
Well, if you could, you wouldn't have said one of these two.
Can I just pull this out, or do you want any photos of it coming out?
Well, I was going to take one real quick, but let me find the X-Acto first. Here's the X-Acto. So, back to the photo. And thumb is bigger than the button.
You know what they say about people with big thumbs? They take after Trump. Pretty sure that's what they say.
Take it after. It's funny how wound up people get over. Especially on social media.
Everyone needs a hobby.
Yeah. They gotta have a, they can't resolve the fact that they're not gonna change their rules. No matter how many times they post on their Facebook page.
Yes, I've always wondered about people that are holding signs on election day. It's like, do you really think anyone's changing their vote on election day because of your sign? So what is the sign for?
You can really screw with it. You walk in there and go, oh, is Trump running? Yeah. Trump's in.
What's his last name?
Yeah. Hillary, isn't that Bill's wife? Is she running for first lady? Insult. To vote for one candidate or the other. You know, I mean, insult. You know what? You're not really a friend if you're insulting people. I believe that.
I'm no expert, but I stayed at Holiday Inn last night.
Get a picture of that. But it's not an express, is it?
I have no idea if this is an
I
express.
think the express is for some reason got something to do with it. It almost looks like they have a helipad up there. But if it is in fact supposed to be a helipad, it's so close to the trees in the parking lot like it. I'm not sure I would want to try it anyway. And they've got 5 miles of parking lot right next to it.
A little bit of debris.
You found some more?
Yeah.
Oh, dang it, I didn't bring the vacuum. Did you wipe it off?
I just brushed it so it was on the mat, and I'm just hopefully getting it off the mat.
I wonder if it was in the test pod. I did clean the surface pretty good, but if it was stuck to the Kapton or something, like
Yeah.
that,
Very minor and not like sore stuff, but just, you know, dust.
can't see it. It's like, well, I'm talking about other emissions.
I wasn't trying to make any reference. Okay, so I'm going to take the pre-flight flag off and then do the CAC.
Okay.
Your pre-flight flag looks great.
Thanks, I have trouble with the small things. Here's your paper clips. You want me to slap them on the user guide? Or are you going to do that later?
Sort out all the other documents later. Let's start the CAC.
Okay.
Yep.
This is it right here, right?
I have started filling out this one right here. So we use the CAC and the user guide at the same time. And your QA on this. So if you want to go ahead and just say, yay, verily, we have everything except the whatever it is that the marks that
All right, let me, why don't you scoot forward enough for me to use this chair over there?
Yep.
Okay. I'll be way back in the there's nothing I know about the cat. We have the
No.
We have the CubeSat, the document, the calipers,
Yes.
12-inch calipers,
No.
2-foot calipers.
Oh, you can.
I'm sorry. Modified is I have the July match. I have 6-inch calipers.
Okay, that's the one I initially.
Yeah. Okay.
No 12-foot, no 12-inch, no 2-foot. DMM.
I don't remember why we have a DM. So I do have one.
I have one too.
I don't remember using a DMM on the.
Well, we have one. That's
Okay.
all it asks. The CubeSat test stand.
We have the desk right here.
You have your digital camera,
I do.
10 kilogram scale or scale capable of weighing a CubeSat.
Yes.
Lint-free WAPs.
Yes.
That's text. Isopropyl
Yes.
and ESD straps.
Yes. Plural. I have one for you if you have the occasion.
Next.
That's why I didn't want staples.
Actually, since I'm doing it, I guess I
Yep.
can go ahead. Okay. Step 1. Clean the workspace with IPA.
I did.
It says signature, but I'm just going to initial. Ensure all the administrative information at the top of the CAC form is complete and accurate. RadFxSat, today, us, AMSAT.
For the
Satellite
satellite serial number would be the only thing I don't know off the top of my head. And so I would say that we do not fill it in because it's not externally visible. Because the serial number is RadFxSat. How's that? So just serial number none.
I can look at the serial number and we can fill it in.
It's the only serial number that we would call RadFxSat.
Well, but for our,
Yeah, I mean it's the IHU serial number that would matter. But
yeah, I can look that up because we have it on the other tests.
okay.
So I'll look that up when we have a break or something. Okay, the top's filled in. Mark on the diagram the locations of the RBF pin. Connectors, deployables, and envelope violations.
Okay.
So we're going to mark that after we
let's-
measure them, or
No. We go ahead and just mark it now. So let's see. What's the orientation? Let's do the left image first, and that's minus Z up, right?
yeah,
Minus Z is the direction of the switches and plungers.
true.
And what
And
two
then
sides?
facing you would be the minus X, which is the
Minus
opposite of
X would be on the left.
opposite of the RBF. So you need the 180 up there. And so that the plus Y is facing me.
And the plus
Y is the receiver,
which is that one. Okay.
So then, what do we want to mark?
Well, looking like this.
We need to mark the.
In fact, I'm going to take a picture to match the.
Do we care about the access ports?
What do you mean? Do we care about it? We
Well,
don't
it
mark
says-
the access port. They're
Yeah.
just giving that as reference. So in fact, on this side would be the USB, which is inside here. So
Yeah,
go to the image.
it mentions connectors, so we want
Right. So you want to go ahead and mark on it the position of. Yep.
here. Good enough?
Yep.
Is it right back good enough?
Yep.
So that's a circle
Whatever.
and a note that says USB connector.
Sure.
I'll say it's internal. Okay.
Okay. And now what is it asking us to
And then
identify?
deployables.
Is it only? Okay. So deployables. The root of the antenna is down here, and the. Yep. So I would just say root, and then at the other end is the deploy resistor and antenna tip.
Give you a lot of room to write, didn't I? Cool.
Yep. Okay. Second picture is.
Do we, no, they already have in the diagram springs and stuff. So
Well, did they ask us to identify it in that image?
No.
Okay.
It says RBF pin, connectors, deployables, and any envelope violations, which we'll have to get to when we measure.
Okay, so the other view.
The other view is the plus Z is actually
minus axis to the left.
Plus Z isn't up. It's kind
Oh,
of
yeah.
down, but lifted.
Yeah.
So I can invert the paper.
Yeah, do it. Invert the paper.
So now the plus Z should be up.
Okay, plus Z is up and on
Minus
the left.
Y, which is TX antenna, is on the left.
Perfect. Okay, so then the RBF safe
So here.
is on the right. Yep.
And then TX antenna goes.
The root and the tip are at the lower left.
Yeah. And deployer resistor.
Yes.
Okay. RBF, deployables, and connectors. There's no connectors on that side.
Correct.
Okay. Then
Okay,
that
next.
should be a check. Well, we'll come back to envelope values. Measure and record the mass of the CubeSat. Taking a picture of the CubeSat while it is on the scale is highly recommended as a source for future reference. Note whether the RBF pin or other removable items are in place, and weigh those items separately.
I didn't tell you that I bought these. I'm going to get reimbursed for it.
You know that huge triple beam balance scale?
Yeah.
There's something wrong with it.
After hauling it around, I can see why.
Yeah, and well, it's not in a way that I would have expected shipping damage, so I'm not sure. Okay, I need a picture of the scales.
Well, you do it with the official camera. You can probably do you know exactly what you want. I'll make it back up. The screens are not visible. Really, they're coming out on mine
Yeah.
with no flash. Does it work on yours?
I have no flash either. But it doesn't matter, we're going to record these two numbers.
I get you.
Okay, you can see it. And, you know,
I'm ready to record.
just for fun, you want to write, not as the official weight, but on the margin somewhere, or on the back of this maybe? Write down the two numbers.
Sure. What do we want? Are the scales labeled in any way?
659.5,
659.5,
671.8.
671.8.
Okay, and then I'm actually gonna.
Was that left and right or what? Does it matter?
That doesn't matter. Okay, now when I remove them, the first number says it's 1.2,
1.2.
and the second number says it's minus 1.2.
Well, that works out. Just cancels out.
Okay, so I'm gonna tear it again.
Need more of your food.
I'm gonna drop it again.
So you better-
Okay, the first number is 654.
Second number is 677.9. When I remove it, they both say 0 now.
Okay.
So I'm actually going to say maybe that first reading was a little off. Okay, I'm going to do it a third time.
There was quite a difference between the first and second
I
reading.
think it's because of how long we left them on. Okay, so here we are the third time. First one is 662.5. Second one is 669.6.
Quite a bit of difference.
Remove it. The first one, it says 1.1, and the second one is 0.
Okay.
Okay, so that never returned to 0, so those numbers are probably bad. These are probably good, and these are less good. So what's the difference between these? Quite a bit.
A chunk. There's 8.
Well, it's a sum, not each one, but you have to sum these, and then sum those.
Sum them and then do the difference?
Yeah, sum this.
Okay. Let's see.
And sum that.
1331.
Yeah. The switch is in still, or the RBF. So they're only different by 0.2 grams. Okay, cool.
I'm happy with that. Okay, so I think the best thing to do is to report the mass as the average of these two.
That's an easy one, isn't it?
So it's yeah, it is. And then the RBF from memory has to be removed. So don't write it in just yet. We have to weigh the RBF pin before we report our actual weight.
Before we report that. So the average, if you will, is 1332. Agreed.
Correct. And then from memory, we'll go ahead and weigh the RBF. We could actually do that now.
If you set it,
Yeah, let's do
the
that.
switch is down, you could remove it, but flip it minus Z there.
Is its own weight enough that I should press this all the way?
Flip it, and I'll be able to tell you.
Well, it won't take the second anyway.
I just feel better for this piece.
That's fine. I'm happy doing any
Then if you drop the pen or something.
good.
Yeah, they're the good press.
Yeah.
If you hear a beep, ready to shove it right back. I'm serious. Don't go far away with it.
Pin is 1.4 grams.
I'm going to do it again with the 0 at one. Take another reading.
It won't really matter. Oh, sure. Yeah, that was 1.7. 1.7. 1.8.
It's getting heavy.
This time it did not return to 0, so I'm tearing. 1.2. 1.3. 1.2. Okay, we're not going to get any better than that.
Okay.
It's right on the bitter edge of being able to detect it, I think.
So one number didn't count. That was the 1.8 you said you had to tear. So should I average these?
Yes.
Oops. Oh. .416666. So 1.4 good enough?
Yep, 1.4 is good enough.
That was the first reading too. So we're going to enter 1.4 for the RBF pin here, correct?
Nope.
Nope.
That's height.
Oh shit.
No.
So just subtract 1.4.
Take the
from
1.4 off that
1332.
average.
Yeah.
Hey, that means we're overweight by half a gram.
Um,
Right?
It does, but it's plus or minus. 6/10 of a gram, right? 1330.6.
Okay, write that down for the math.
That's 1332 minus 1.4. 1330.6. Mass is here. 1330.6. Okay.
So we're not overweight by their definition, we're overweight by what I was targeting for the 1.33.
Yeah, I think that. Well, you can work on it for 20.
What's that?
You can work on your accuracy on one.
Right.
6/10 of a gram. That's
Yes.
6/10 of a gram. I mean, you could like. You could weigh air.
Yeah, well, we're at the limit of the scales
When we're measuring fractions of a gram.
Measure and record the mass. Take a picture of it while it's on the scale. It's highly recommended. Note that the RBF. You put it back.
Oh, I took pictures.
No, I mean the RBF pin is back.
Mm.
Weigh them separately and subtract it from the mass. So we did that. Now, septum spring. Confirm that the separation spring housing heads are flush with the CubeSat standoff surfaces. An example of a bad one is shown below.
Yes, they are all.
They are both flush or lower.
Check. Step number 8, 6. If the separation spring is not flush, so we can probably ignore that, right?
Yes.
Deployment switch check. Confirm that the deployment switch actuator is flush with the standoff or rail when actuated. Also confirm that the deployment switch actuates in the allowable range of motion.
Yes.
I would say that that's been confirmed in the actuation is confirmed by DITL.
You have to reconfirm it. Oh, yeah, okay.
No, what they mean is just physically, not an electrical test.
Okay.
They just mean press the button, make sure it will press flush,
And
then come back.
and then sticks out.
Yeah.
Okay. Check. Deployables constrained. Confirm that all deployables are constrained by the spacecraft.
Yes.
Step 9, width measurements. All width length protrusion measurements should be taken with extreme care as it is absolutely crucial that these are in spec for proper integration of the CubeSat into a P-pod or test pod. If you are at all unsure of a measurement, redo it. Begin by zeroing your calipers as shown below. This will help ensure the accuracy of the measurements.
Lots of
Zeroing it will help the accuracy. No shit.
Okay, so that means we go over to the big old page of the CAC.
And I'm going to make you a note that this zeroing needs to be done before each set.
I understand. Thank you.
Okay, so there's 0.
Well, I always intend to.
Yeah, good enough.
Yes.
10. But now you're saying we need to go back to the.
Didn't it say take all the measurements or not?
I don't know.
Or is it just acknowledging to how to use the caliper?
Yeah, begin by zeroing.
Okay, so that's just
If
learn
you're
how to use the
unsure,
caliper.
redo it. It's advice, if you will. Then 10 says beginning with side 1, which is, I guess, arbitrary.
No. Side 1, we have to refer back to that image on the.
Oh, okay. Side 1 is minus y.
Okay.
And so you're measuring the width of the minus y on the plus z, in the middle, and then the minus z.
Okay, so minus y is transmitter.
Yes. See, they're having the stream is also handy because we actually have a recording of what we did.
Okay, what am I measuring again?
You're measuring minus y at the plus z end, the width of the minus y. And the plus z is apparently facing you right now, correct? With this sitting here, I could just turn it on. Turn it
On.
You know what I mean? It very no. So anyway, I can just snap it while you're measuring if you want.
Remind me, I'm doing the plus C. What am I doing?
Minus Y, you're measuring the width of the minus
Right.
Y.
Yeah, this is my
At the
one.
plus ZM.
Plus Z, that's without the switches.
Correct.
Okay, you ready to write?
Yep.
99.98.
99.98. Middle.
99.98.
99.98. And then minus Z.
One 100.08.
100.08.
Okay, next.
I presume it's just going to say. Right. So then we'll move to side 2, which is minus X, which would be the port side, the non-RDF. Measure the plus Z, closest to you again, correct?
99.94.
99.94. And the middle?
99.94.
99.94. And minus 6.
99.90.
99.90. Pardon me. Plus Y is next. That'd be the RX side. Excuse me.
$99.98.
99.98 for the plus Z.
$99.96.
99.96 and the minus Z.
100.06.
100.06. And then finally plus X.
$100.06.
Plus Z is 100.06.
$100.06.
The middle is 100.06.
$100.08.
And the minus ZM is 100.08. All are
Excellent.
within plus 2/10 minus 5/10.
Excellent. Next.
Let's see. It says measure all 4 sides and make sure it's within tolerance and record them. Check. So I guess we did this. That was step 10.
at this point, I should have allotted 5 hours instead of 2 for the CAC and loading the test pod. But you know what? I got 6 hours of sleep. I'm not sure I wanted less. So okay, go ahead.
I got about 6 too. Yeah, there's no way. Of course, I do have some. Rail height measurement, step 12. All width, length, protrusion measurements should be taken with extreme care. Crucial to the fitting into the pod. Re-zero the calipers.
Yeah, every time I do it.
Lay the CubeSat down on the test stand and measure the height of each rail from foot to foot, making sure they're within tolerance. Be sure not to set caliper jaws on separation springs or deployment switches. This will ensure that the measurement will reflect the actual height of the rail. Record the measurements in the CAC. Note any deviations or anomalies. So then, the height of the XY, rail 1 is the plus X minus Y rail. So that's the one to your right there. Isn't it right there where your fingers were?
No, isn't this?
No,
Sorry, what?
Put it back the way it was. The TX antenna is minus Y.
Yes.
And the RBF is plus X, correct?
I cannot verify that.
Well, I will. That's where we marked it. Okay.
You said this is what? Plus Y?
Minus Y is the TX antenna. So
Sorry,
minus
minus
Y is
Y.
to your right. Plus X is to the top. Plus X has the RBF.
Well, if I orient this so this is looking from the top, this would be plus X, and that would be,
No, you just pointed to plus Y. Plus X is the
plus
center.
X plus Y. And which one are we doing first?
Plus X minus Y.
Plus X minus Y. So we're doing that one.
Yes.
Sorry for the exercise, but I have to.
But as long as you make sure you're right, that's always fine.
Okay, so height.
Height.
One, 3.60.
113.60 for the plus X minus Y. Next is minus X minus Y. So I guess if you rotate it 90 degrees
Point to the
or
corner. It's this one. It's that one.
Yes.
And this is
Plus X is up. So looking down at the top, as you said, plus X is toward you now. Minus Y is straight up. Minus X is out the back toward the wall.
so the corner we're supposed to be doing is which?
That's the one you just did. This is minus Y minus X.
Yes, I agree. It's just taking me a little bit longer to, but yes, I agree.
Hey.
So this is the one I'm doing, right?
Check. It's okay to take a little longer. Make sure we're right.
One, 3.52.
113.52. The minus X plus Y, so just another 90-degree turn, basically.
One, 3.64.
113.64. And finally, plus X plus Y. Should be RBF up and receiving antenna toward you.
Yep.
battery is almost spent.
113.64.
113.64. All four readings are within half a millimeter of 113.5.
Excellent.
So that's a check. Do you have another battery for that?
I do. I might as well just kill the, let the battery die, and then over by the lamp up there, I have a package of AA.
Okay. Now we're going to measure standoff width measurements. All width length protrusion measurements should be taken with extreme care, as it is crucial that these are inspected for proper integration of the CubeSat into a P-pod or test pod. If you are at all unsure of the measurement, redo it. Just redo it. Sure. Re-zero the calipers again before beginning this set of measurements to ensure their accuracy. Measure the widths for all CubeSat plus Z and minus Z standoffs, 2 measurements per standoffs, 8 standoffs total. One such measurement is illustrated below. Record all measurements as prompted in the CAC, noting the deviations or anomalies.
Starting with plus Z.
Okay. Actually, it does plus Z minus Z for each rail, but how do you want to do it?
I want to not move the satellite a lot, so let's
So
just
we'll do all the plus Z's. Okay. So the plus Z, the first one is plus X minus Y, which is where we started on the last set of measurements. So it looks to me like it's your
Plus
total.
X minus Y. This one. So I have this right now set up as X, Y.
Okay.
So plus X minus Y is that one.
I concur.
$8.56.
8.56.
$8.56.
8.56. Pretty square.
And then which Y would you like to do?
Minus Y, excuse me, minus X minus Y.
$8.50.
8.50.
$8.66.
8.66. And now we will do minus X plus Y.
$8.50.
8.50.
$8.56.
8.56. Minus, excuse me, plus X plus Y.
$8.50.
8.50.
8.52.
8.52. All measurements are greater than or equal to 6.5 millimeters. Now the minus Z, pardon me, there's still another one of your best bars. I'm going to pass out here. Give me a second. Getting a headache. No food. How do you do it? Did you eat breakfast on me? You eat breakfast today. I wouldn't want to have to tell you.
We can interrupt anytime for breakfast. So
We may as well finish this.
that's what I was thinking, but we can.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll do minus Z
Yes.
at the plus X minus Y.
Plus X minus Y. Plus X minus Y. Okay. The RBF is on
I
this side.
concur.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't. Try to get it to focus.
8.56.
8.56.
8.64.
8.64. Now we will do minus x minus y.
$8.64.
8.64.
Wait, did I say 8.64? It is. Okay.
You did, and that's a number we've seen before. So.
8.58.
8.58 minus x plus y.
$8.48.
8.48.
$8.52.
8.52. And plus x plus y.
$8.46.
8.46.
$8.64.
8.64. All measurements are greater than or equal to 6.5 millimeters. Did I say greater than or equal to? That's what I meant. Greater than or equal to 6.5 millimeters. No deviations or anomalies. That was step 13. Step 14. Protrusion measurements. All width, length protrusion measurements should be taken with extreme care. You know the rest of that one. Measure any protrusions normal to each face of the CubeSat relative to a rail surface, taking care not to contact or scratch sensitive surfaces such as solar cells. Depending on the location of the protrusion and sensitivity of the surrounding hardware, these measurements require varying levels of arithmetic and manual dexterity. That's why I'm not doing it. Measurement of a fairly simple protrusion is detailed below as an example, and you're familiar with that. The height of the circuit board relative to a rail surface is measured. Call this A. And then they have figure B, which is the CubeSat. Example 2, height of a screw head relative to the circuit board is measured in B. Called the total screw protrusion equals A plus B, and you're familiar with all that, correct? This is measuring the PCB to the rail, and then they measure the screw head to the PCB and add them together to get the whole.
I don't have to do that because my caliper can reach from the rail to a screw head.
I see that.
Highly advanced techniques in use. Actually, there's dust.
Well,
I mean,
it didn't come from my house. That's all I can say.
Well,
15.
I know there's dust in here. So.
Please take note that only the maximum protrusion on each face requires measurement. Record all max protrusion measurements in the CAC. Note any deviations or anomalies. So the CAC says for protrusions, we'll do minus y side first. Now,
Minus y is tx, right?
it is true. And if I can record all of the, you're going to measure like all of the screws and standoffs, or
Yep.
and then I'll record them and we can see which one's the biggest.
Yeah, there's really only 6 things to measure. That, and that.
This is providing an excellent angle for all your measurements and stuff too, so we got some good backup video if there's anything in question, because it sees what this camera won't because of your hands. Okay, just call out a number and I'll write them down and then we'll compare. Pardon me.
These are individual measurements, not the final measurement.
But they're individual.
This
is an add-up measurement.
We're going to take the max.
We will take the max, but as you give me a measurement, is it something that's going to have to be cumulative, or it is the measurement for that point? You're not going to.
For the very first blank, I'm going to give you 6 numbers.
Right.
And then we're going to take the max of the 6.
I understood.
Oh.
My question was simply, when you said individual measurement, you will measure the total height of that standoff at once. It's not the 2 numbers.
Oh, yes, correct. Everything I do will be total.
Will be the final for that point.
So there's going to be 6 of which that we have to take the max of.
And this is minus what?
This is
Yes.
TX antenna, yes.
Think your battery.
Oh, it times out. That doesn't mean it actually did it. It should do the battery one for a little while.
Yeah, it quit telling me it was low now.
5.70.
5.70.
$5.56.
5.56. Pardon me.
$5.86.
5.86.
Sorry, this one I will have to do as a sum.
You can give me the first.
The first number is 2.80.
2.80.
Second number is 1.60.
1.60.
And that's it. So the maximum of all those numbers.
That was only 4. You said you were going to make 6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
No, because the last 2 you gave me you said would be a sum.
Then we missed one. Because I went, oh, no, you're right. I probably didn't do that one. You're right.
Okay, so let me, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, so let me take, I'm glad you mentioned that because I was about to just skip it.
Part of years of railroad.
$5.70.
Okay, 5.70. The max of all of those readings was the 5.86.
Okay.
I don't know
You
where
can
it
write
came
that
from.
down. It doesn't matter. All that matters is what side.
So the minus y, right?
Yep.
5.86. And side 2 is minus x. Can you break a second?
Yeah.
Apparently the outlet in my room, to which I had my cell phone hooked up to charge, is not worth a hoot. Because it just told me to do like that. It's very loose.
Did you open the bottom of your application? up.
And would you close the IPA also? Thank you.
I did say that. I just totally
That's all right.
blew it off thinking I would do it in a moment. Can we use that extension there?
Yes, I have an available plug.
Thanks. Except it's here, we'll let dirty or dirty.
That's fine. I would propose at this point that you go ahead and text Eric and Burns,
Sit on here?
and yeah, and it's now 8 o'clock, which means certainly we will be here at least until 9, if not later.
We have to eat too. So.
Yeah. So you might as well just say, come to the hotel, we're late. We're running late, come to the hotel.
I'm gonna tell them we're not gonna be ready to leave until 9:30.
I wasn't really prepared to make that estimate, but I'll accept it.
How about before 9 o'clock?
Well, we're certainly not leaving within an hour. I guess that was the point I was trying to make.
Yeah.
But we are almost done with the CAC. We still have to fill out all the stuff on the top.
I told Eric, I gotta tell Burns.
Oh, I cannot believe I started at least preparing the area at 6 o'clock. That's 2 hours to do the CAC.
Actually, it doesn't. Depending on how you look at it.
Yeah, I mean, well, when I say we're starting the CAC, that involves cleaning the work area, getting the tools together.
Yeah. All right.
I'm just trying to make a good estimate, so next time we'll know. Next time, let's just take 2 hours to CAC. Okay, so.
Actually, 2 hours would be good because there were some things that came up that may not next time, but if they do, you'll allow.
Right. Okay, what's next?
Like the whole,
Making me dizzy.
the whole thing shifted there. Something like
Make
that.
sure you get my crutch. It's very important.
It's in there now. Probably what I'm saying, okay or good.
Yeah.
The minus X side, maximum protrusion.
Okay, minus X is which one?
The transmit antenna.
No, that would be a Y.
Minus X is the umbilical side, or not the RBF side.
It's the umbilical. Because this is minus X, right?
Minus X.
Okay, so this time it's going to be 6 measurements, all of them single measurements.
Minus X.
So this will go faster. 4.78.
4.78. Oh, you know what? You want pictures of each side?
I don't care, really. 4.76.
4.76.
Four 4.72.
4.72.
4.84.
4.84.
4.76.
4.76.
4.78.
4.78. That's 6 measurements. The greatest of which is 4.84.
Yep.
So minus x is 4.84. We will now do plus y. That is the transfer.
Plus y is the receipt.
I'm leaving. I told you I need food, man. Give me the rest of this bar.
Okay, this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 direct measures.
Last time you had to split one.
And it's the difference in the
Okay.
just where positions end up. $5.66.
5.66.
$5.80.
5.80. I feel like Ed McMahon comment.
$5.70.
5.70.
$5.84.
5.84.
$5.40.
5.40. The greatest. 5.4.
Yep.
That was plus y 5.84. Plus x,
Which is
I ain't saying this. Concur.
okay, and I'm gonna have 6 direct measurements.
6 direct measurements. Plus x. No, I need more.
I think there's one over there. Do you know if we pay for those?
I don't know. I bought one last
They-
night,
they-
and it never made it to my room somehow. So I drank it.
Oh, I drank it. It was nice and cold. Thank you.
I wonder where it went.
Yeah.
The way I see it, it's all part of the room. It does have to pay for it, but you water. No fridge. You notice that?
I was expecting it in there.
Yeah.
So yes, I was disappointed.
I'm gonna stick.
Okay, so what did I say? 6 direct measurements.
Of the plus x. That's correct.
$4.84.
4.84.
4.82.
4.82.
4.86.
4.86.
4.84.
4.84.
4.74.
4.74.
4.76.
4.76. I get 4.86 is the greatest of that batch.
Yep.
for plus x 4.86 minus z is next. Remember not to measure the spring sticky outy things or the display switch sticky out.
Okay, so this, we're going to, I'm going to take measurements, but to every single measurement, we have to add 4. So 4 plus, 4 plus, and then every single number individually.
Tell me where that 4 comes from.
They assume that all of our solar panels are 100 tall, but ours are stretched to 108, which means if I measure from our sheet metal or from our solar panel edges upward or downward, I guess upward versus downward, we'd add the 4 and then
the 4 is the overlap of the
the
board.
4 takes it to right here.
So then you're going to measure.
So I'm going to have a bunch of individual measurements. We'll take the max of those, and then we'll add 4. That's what we're doing for.
Because you're measuring from the edge of that board.
Yep.
Ah! How do we know the edge of the board is all 4?
The same way that they just know our 100 is 100. They never ask us to verify that either.
Okay, so. Good enough.
Well, you know what?
I mean, because it could even be screwed on slightly crooked, right? So it's
It could be. Oh,
3
yeah.
on one side,
There's position in with
5 on the other.
yeah, so I said it's nominally 108, and it was like 108.1 and change, you know.
Can
It doesn't matter. We're going to.
you just measure how much it overlaps from the top of the plus Z board?
The plus Z board is not 100 either. The height of the plus, this is actually minus Z, but the height of this is dependent on all those SAM type connectors of the whole PCB stack. So that's not 100 either.
So you're measuring, we're looking for protrusions beyond the
100.
100 millimeter.
So that's why I'm going from here.
That's cool. I got
Yeah.
it. I was
I'd
thinking
rather explain it and have one other human being know what I do.
and my thinking was that it was from the top of the surface of the minus Z board, not the 100 millimeter board. So take it away. You're going to give me 6
A bunch of
measurements.
individual measurements. I'm going to give you, looks like,
At least 8.
yeah, looks like 8. Because every single screw head is above the other area of the, it's above the
Post or whatever.
Yeah.
No cumulative ones. Single measurements.
Single measurements. And it's extremely hard. I'm going to drop the digit because it's really hard to measure. It really is hard to measure. I'm not sure that I'm basically eyeballing it at this point, I'm afraid. .3.
Here's a thought. Where's the 100 millimeter mark again? It's
Not visible on the satellite, but it would normally be what they assume our solar panel height is.
Right. So you're adding 4 to this edge of the board. So
Right.
that's theoretically 104
Correct.
along the mark of that.
No, well, no. This is 108.
Right. Okay.
So the difference, this is already protruding out 4. Is really what's happening.
Yeah, it's protruding out 4 from 100.
Correct.
So it's essentially 104 at the edge of that board.
No, because 104 would be taking the 54 from the center line is correct.
54 from the center line.
Right.
Well, if it didn't protrude, the 100 that they're assuming would be the
From
length
here
of
to
that panel,
here.
Right.
Yeah.
So actually, the length of the panel is 108, which means
They're not.
If it was shaved off, so it was only 104 and hanging over 4 millimeters on one side, you would call it 104, right?
Yeah, but that's not how they're phrasing that at all.
No,
Yeah.
it doesn't. That's not what I'm going
Yeah.
for, is how they phrase
Sure,
it.
but yeah.
What my
well,
thought was,
yeah.
is if you can measure the head of the screw compared to that board edge, then
That's
you know
exactly what I'm doing. That's why I told
you still have to eyeball that? You can't put the caliper on?
What I'm
No,
saying.
no, wait, back on. What I was thinking was, yes, let me rephrase that. So that edge is 4 plus 4.
Right.
If you measure that edge, does that mean it's plus 4 above the surface of the minus Z panel as well? The minus Z panel is not at 100.
Correct. It's not 100. No.
But
I
if you measured the overlap, in other words, if you measured the height
Oh,
of
I
the
see.
screw and then subtracted 4 or added 4.
Okay, so what I am doing is we're going to take all these measurements, take the maximum of that, and add 4.
Okay.
And that answers their question.
And what I was looking for was, is there a way that you could not eyeball it, but you can actually measure the height
There
of that screw?
is. I could actually measure the height of every screw from the minus Z solar panel, and then measure how far below the minus Z solar panel is from a solar panel. But I don't do that.
If we did that, we would have an absolute, indisputable, if you will. In case they, because we got there and they asked, how did you measure this? It would be nice to say. It's a thought.
Yes, we could do that. We're going to be taking more measurements as the average then.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, we have to
can
do a
that.
couple more measurements, but it's more certain than eyeballing.
Yes.
Not to say that you
Yes.
can't eyeball within a millimeter or something. I don't know.
Well, I suspect I can eyeball it within 0.15 millimeters.
Wow. Okay. Then.
Well, that's because of how close. So
Your choice.
yeah, we can do that. I had not previously done that, but we can actually do that. So let's go ahead and take all the measurements.
You know, I think I actually had to do a CAC once, and that's what I did. That's what I was
Is it? Okay.
wondering. I don't know why I had to do it. It was apparently I needed to recheck. I know it was when we had the protrusion of the RX on 1A. I had to figure out what that was, and that's how I did it.
Okay, so again, we're doing the minus Z.
Correct. Minus Z.
Minus Z, and that's the one with all the switches and knobs and buttons and
Dials.
springs, dials. Okay, so I'm going to give you 8 measurements that will take a max off.
Okay. And if it's one I just need to add together, just say this is cumulative, and I'll write down numbers till you say stop.
Cumulative? What?
If any of them have to be added.
Oh,
together,
yes, okay, yes.
I'll just make them in a column until you say.
3.34.
3.34.
3.20.
3.20.
3.20.
3.20.
3.30.
3.30.
3.24.
3.24.
3.35.
3.35.
3.16.
3.16.
3.26.
3.26. That was 8 measurements.
Okay, go ahead and take the max of those.
Let's see, 3.35.
Yep. And then, we're going to take the average of 4.
Okay.
Or, yeah, we'll take the average of 4.
Ready?
1.96.
0.96.
1.84.
1.84.
2.06.
2.06.
1.86.
1.86.
So take the average of those.
Excuse me, 1.93.
Okay.
And we'll add that to the largest.
What we should know.
Oh,
Yeah, we'll go ahead and write that down.
okay. 1.93.
So what we're actually doing is 4 minus 1.93 plus the other. Just to keep you on your toes.
4 minus 1.93 plus 3.35.
Yes.
5.42.
That's our final answer.
That's your final answer.
That's my final answer.
And I'm going to do it one more time.
Is that an elevator back or?
No.
No, it was like liver diet. $5.42. All right.
That's our final answer.
So then for the plus, no, minus z.
Yeah. You might actually write down the step of 4 minus 1.93. That's so we just have a record that that happens.
4 minus 1.93 plus 3.35.
Right.
Is the final answer.
Yep.
That was
What was the number?
5.42. I forgot.
That
All right.
sounds familiar.
4 minus 2 is 2, plus 0.7 is 2.07, plus 3.35 is 5.42. Yep. 5.42 for the minus z. Okay, plus z. Woof.
We're almost done. By the way, we skipped some of the administrative section. Okay, we'll do the exact same thing. I'm going to have 8 measurements, and we'll take the max.
I see what you're saying. Well, we can do that easily. All right, plus z.
3.26.
3.26.
3.30.
3.30.
3.46.
3.46.
3.24.
3.24.
2.94.
Really? 2.94.
I can see that one's low. I mismachined it.
3.18.
3.18.
3.20.
3.20.
3.26.
3.26.
So you take the max of those.
Looks like.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, now we're going to take the average of 4 measurements.
Ready.
Let me see dust again.
Oh, it's a cheap hotel. You know, we may want to redo the Kapton tape on the sides of that test pod because it may have captured some junk. That if there was any dust that I missed, or actually since they shipped it, there might have been some in there that got stuck to the inside of the Kapton. You reckon? Just for your consideration. Go ahead.
Sorry, I just want to get rid of this now that I see it.
Bird says will be here about 8:30. Eric says he'll be in the lot. Finish this before Burns gets here. Too much interruption.
Okay. The rest of the dust ain't moving, so it might not be dust. Okay, what am I doing now? The average of 4 measurements. 1.84.
1.84.
1.98.
1.98.
2.18.
2.18.
1.84.
1.84. So the average of that $1.96. So we will take 4 minus 1.96 plus 3.46, 5.5.
And that's our final answer.
I'll do it one more time real quick. 4, 1.96, 3.46, 5.5. All right, 5.5 is the final answer for the plus Z. Now, you're sure about that minus stuff, right?
What minus stuff?
You sure about the math? So look, we're all less than 6, and it should be less than 6.5, less than or equal to.
Yep.
So that's a pass. Let me go check off the step here that says we got to do that. Oh, we got one more. you need to do the measure the RBF pin, or measure the distance that the RBF pin protrudes from the face of the CubeSat. If it is close to the maximum allowable of 6.4, remeasure this protrusion in step 20. So measure the distance that the RBF pin protrudes from the face of the CubeSat.
We can do that. It will be the sum of two numbers.
Okay.
The first number is not what I thought it would be.
Aha. So it's not a real number.
1.60.
1.60.
Plus 2.66.
Plus 2.66. That gives us 4.26. 1.060 plus 2.66 is 4.26 from the surface, right?
Yep. That was on. It was on the. Yeah. So you can just write in.
Actually, it doesn't even say you need to report.
No, but go ahead and write it down. I mean, we went through all the effort to write it down.
4.26.
Good morning.
Hello.
Remember when I said it'd be about an hour for the cat?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Started,
Still doing it?
started at 6.
It's been all of about an hour.
Yeah.
Step 17, protrusion edge distance. All width-length protrusion measurements should be taken with extreme care. You're familiar with that, right?
Yes.
Measure the distance from the rail edge to the first object protruding past the rail surface. Do this measurement for both rails on each face at the top, middle, and bottom of the CubeSat. So we're measuring the rail.
Where do they have that?
I thought we just did all that, in essence.
No, we did not. But where do they enter it into the?
Unless there's like 2 pages to this.
Oh, maybe. Well, it would have been. No. True. Measure the distance. Do not measure.
There is a CubeSat acceptance. Well, that is the user guide. Yeah, we probably won't be ready for a little time.
I figured.
But we're live on the air too, by the way.
Okay. Anybody watching?
I don't know. Here. Well, here's the RBF pin measurement.
Excellent.
So what was it? You have the thing now. 4.26. Wait, it's on the back.
4.26.
But
So what they're asking for here is not in the cat.
apparently not.
Unless we have the old CAC. Can we double check on the SVN to see that the CAC online is 1 page and not 2? Wouldn't that
I
be?
looked at the newest one.
Okay, that's it. So that means the user's guide says to use.
Does the user guide say to record any of that when you're making a measurement? Or is it just asking you to measure?
Yeah, not only that, the next step says record the CAC, note any deviations or anomalies.
And you uploaded whatever the latest that we're supposed to use, correct?
I believe we only received the CAC one time. And that's
But
what's
I
on
mean,
the
whatever's under 1B.
That's, yeah, as far as I know, it was not sent more than one time. Okay, well, let's just start writing this stuff down.
Yeah, we can write it on there, I guess.
You know, I'm thinking about this. Well, I started to put the cat, and there was one other thing you asked for. You asked to be printed?
There were about 3 others, but yeah.
No,
I
no,
thought
I'm talking
Eric-
about Bob specifically.
I thought Eric printed.
Yes, he did, but but
Yes,
I started to print it and then I saw his message.
Yes, okay.
And one of those things you asked for was a single page. And now I'm trying to think of it. Was
That
the CAC
that
or
was the
other one?
CAC. Yeah, the
Okay.
CAC.
Was the other one 2 or 3 or something?
The CAC user's guide is this thing, and it
Oh,
seems to
yeah.
be 15 pages.
Yeah, okay. Sure, CAC was just.
Yeah, okay. Okay, well, let's just start making.
Well, yeah, then we can also, when I don't have to do it on the floor, I can take that, we'll look on the SVN. If there's something different, we can add the numbers from there into that.
in the
tab.
margin, let's just do plus X, left, right, whatever.
So what exactly are you measuring here? Then you're measuring the distance from the rail edge to the first object protruding past the rail surface.
We'll just take the picture. So basically, the width between the rail and the edge of the sword.
Oh,
Like how much of rail do we actually have available?
okay.
Morning.
So we're looking for the total rail. Hi. Okay.
Okay, so let's just start with.
Lots of room to write it. So
Yeah.
it doesn't say.
Yeah, well, it's free form at this. So plus
It
X.
says do measurements for both rails on each face
Right.
at the top, middle, and bottom.
Yes. So.
Let's go back and see what we did on previous ones as far as when we did width, we did minus y minus x plus y plus x.
Okay, let's do it that way. Okay. So on the minus Y side, minus Y is the transmit antenna.
Correct. So we'll do, and then you have to do top, middle, and bottoms. It actually
on the
says
left
that.
and the right.
So we'll call the top plus z, and the bottom minus z,
Yes.
and then I'll record it as such. So we're
Okay,
doing
so on the minus Y face, there's going to be the left rail and the right rail.
minus y, left. Okay.
Left rail.
And then we'll measure it at the plus z, the middle, and the minus z. Wow.
It's a satellite. That fucking thing's going to space.
Oh yeah, by the way, we're live.
10.24.
10.24 for the plus z.
Ten point zero zero.
10.00 for the middle.
$10.44.
10.44 for the minus z. That was the minus y at the minus x. Now we'll do the minus y at the plus x.
Have you got to watch your ground strap because you're reaching them? Very close to the ground.
So
Okay,
start.
I can't verify the last thing you just said because I'm just calling it left and right. So I haven't.
Yeah, well, I was
okay.
looking at it, and the right is the plus x that you're about to do here. So I figured I would clarify that by putting it down here
That
as
is
because
correct.
left
Okay,
or right's
cool.
depending on which way you lay it on.
Yeah,
the
well, I'm
table.
just saying I couldn't verify the last thing you said, but now I have. Thank
Yeah,
you.
starting at plus z, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
$10.50.
10.50.
$10.50. What are the odds?
10.50.
Maybe this thing's just broken.
If the minus z is 10.50, I say do that side again.
Just because you said that, this one's 10.62.
Very good. Even though it read 50, you're telling me 62.
Okay, now which face?
I've lost continuity here. Minus x.
And that should be the one with the umbilical. Is that right?
Correct. You're going to start on the left.
I'll start on the left.
Which
At
makes
plus
makes that the plus y, correct?
Correct.
Minus x plus y at the plus z. Go ahead.
$10.38.
10.38.
$10.34.
10.34.
10.42.
10.42. Now this is still the minus x at the minus y plus z.
Correct. $10.22.
10.22.
10.38.
10.38.
10.52.
10.52. What do you guys, I don't want to make you an errand boy, but what do you think about the one? Get a cup of coffee.
Sure.
They have it down in the lobby.
An IV
Black,
would be great.
black is good.
Do what? Black is it?
Yep.
Just black.
Thanks.
Regular
I know-
decaf.
Regular. I went down earlier and they were out.
Yeah, she just filled it up before I came up. I was sitting there.
Cool, thanks.
That's a good. I've got one for myself.
You want one, Bob? A third?
Sure, give me a third cup black.
A third, I mean, 0.33 of a cup.
Yes.
As opposed to.
Well, sure, if you're gonna round it. I was exact.
As opposed to your
Give us a
third
caliper.
cup of the morning.
Give us
Yeah.
a caliper.
Right. I'm just saying I won't drink much, so.
A third of a cup.
Oh. Oh.
No.
Get in 1 cup divided by 3. We'll do
Okay.
the plus y.
Plus Y is the receive antenna.
Check.
The left side is toward the RBF.
Plus y plus x.
Starting with plus Z.
Starting with plus z.
$10.50.
10.50.
10 point.
Get some breakfast fast.
Sorry, I'm not believing either the even measurement. Okay, 10.66.
10.66.
10.66.
10.66. This will be the plus y and minus x. Plus.
$10.42.
10.42.
10.46.
10.46.
10.38.
10.38. And then we have left, we should know, plus x, RBF.
Plus x is RVF. And the left side is minus y.
Plus x minus y
Plus z.
plus
and
z. Right into getting stopped here.
10.48.
10.48.
10.46.
Just stop right there. Was that the middle 10.46?
Yes.
Okay. You went so fast, I didn't know if you're calling any number.
10.64.
10.64 at the minus z. So now we will do
The right
plus
side.
x, which is plus x plus y. Plus z.
Ten 10.18.
10.18.
10.34.
10.34.
10.34.
10.34. What are we doing?
It appears the first measurement was off.
Okay. The plus z.
Ten 10.38.
10.38. Now, here comes an interesting part, because it says, ensure all measurements within tolerance.
So the requirement is that it's greater than or equal to 8.5.
So I'm just going to make a note, greater than or equal to 8.5 millimeters, and say that it's within tolerance. Where the heck do you suppose that other page went? Step number 19, initial the authorized by box. So let's go back to the header then.
Yeah.
Spring plungers, option A or B?
We have to go back to the CubeSat design spec to see how it's defined. Because it's like, it's just a matter of which one did you choose as the puzzle corners.
Did we print that, or is that something?
I did not print it because I wasn't thinking we'd need it.
So we'll leave that
Right.
to be done. Are they functional? Yes.
Spring plungers.
Thank you. SAT, okay?
So, you want to take a fake picture of spilling coffee on the snowman?
Yes.
Too much explaining.
That was yes, they're functional. Not answering your question.
I'm glad to hear
Deployment
that.
switch is functional.
Yes.
Oh shit. Anodized rails,
Yes.
deployables are constrained.
Yes.
So then,
Okay, cool.
now, back to the list. Initialize the authorized by box on the CAC and circle whether or not the CubeSat passed. So I will initial. Are you going to initial too then?
Sure.
Got 2 spots.
Contaminating your gloves.
Perfect, because we're going to move it.
Well, we actually,
We don't know if it passed until we do the spring fund. No, that's not actually.
yeah, it passed. Yes, it passed. And so now we need the CubeSat design spec off the server.
Actually, we could just look at it on the.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We don't, we just need to look at that. Because they say option A or B, and then they don't have in this document the definition of A or B. You have to go back to the CubeSat design spec.
Mm-hmm.
Comments or observations?
I have no comments. We had nothing that was even close to a deviation.
I have a comment.
But
Where the hell is the missing page?
Yes, that's right.
Quality completion
We should be
slip.
almost done because I'm ripping my gloves.
Validate all information in the document is complete. Well, I'm not going to do that until we check the CDS.
Okay, sure.
So,
Okay, the other thing that we need, I didn't even think of this. I had brought 2 bags. We need one of those bags, and so we don't leave this thing exposed while we go eat.
okay, I'll go grab that. And what we'll do is, after we eat, because I will be a little hot alert, we can get on my laptop
That
and look at
works.
the CDS.
So we'll just bag it, have breakfast,
Bag it and eat it.
and
Okay, that's it for now. We'll come back later.
and what time is it? Give or take?
10.
Okay, so.